Hello everyone, welcome back to a new episode of Brew with Memli. Today we are going to do something slightly different. Instead of showing you how to brew this coffee from El Salvador, we are going to taste this coffee in 3 different ways: drip, immersion, and espresso. That's also what you can find in our brewing recommendation, as well as in the card that comes with this coffee from El Salvador. All the recipes and detail will be shown in the description as well as on the product page. Let's talk about the coffee. Today we are going to taste our latest release from Los Pirineos in El Salvador. The Los Pirineos farm sits at 1,400 meters above sea level on the slope of a volcano that allows cooler breezes. And the coffee is produced by the Baraona family for the 4th generation. And here we have a Sudan Rume variety with an anaerobic black honey process. So in the process, the cherries are harvested ripe and then put in an aluminum barrel for 48 hours before being popped with water to get the black honey color, and put back in an anaerobic condition for 72 hours before being dried on shaded African beds or raised beds from 45 to 50 days. So it's a longer time to dry the coffee, which allows to get very rounder flavor notes and a nice balance in this coffee. We're going to brew this coffee in 3 different ways: the drip with 12 grams in, 200 grams of water; the immersion with 25 grams in, 300 grams of water; and our espresso 16 in and 40 out. Let's come back when all those coffees are ready. All right, let's go to the tasting. On the cupping, this coffee has notes of light brown sugar, tropical fruits, a little bit of stone fruit, and very sweet spices. It's a well-rounded, balanced acidity with a nice buttery texture. Let's see how this coffee performs in a drip, immersion, and espresso. Let's start with the main flavor. Here, you can really taste like that hint of light brown sugar, sweet spices, and a really round tropical fruit. Not too bright, it's really well balanced. On the immersion, we have slightly more brown spices, sweet spices, and still some fruitiness. We use our recipe, stopping at 3 minutes 30 for that one to preserve that slight fruitiness. And espresso, 16 in, 40 out in 28 seconds. It's very tropical. You really have more brown sugar and tropical fruits in this espresso. Let's move on to the acidity and the texture balance. The acidity is very pleasant. It's very round. It's not high, it's not low. It's a nice medium, actually even medium low. But very round and structured, while the texture is syrupy here. Of course, juicier compared to the other one, but quite syrupy for drip coffee. The immersion, we get a mellower acidity and a creamier texture, as expected from an immersion brew of our classic 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes steeping time. The espresso, quite a vibrant acidity actually on espresso, and a really syrupy texture. It's a very nice texture here, not too high like the immersion, not juicier and syrupy like the drip, but kind of in between, balancing out with the bright acidity. Let it cool down and let's do another tasting for the aftertaste. Let's check our aftertaste, sweetness, and then how the coffee performs when it's cooled down. So, very gentle. I love the way this coffee is on drip. Clean, smooth aftertaste, medium length, not too lingering, not short, but very, very balanced. Oh, it lingers more. You have more brown aftertaste versus a more kind of fruitier on the drip. So really those sweet spices in this light brown sugar. More lingering than the drip, as expected, of course, because as you can see, you still have some particles despite us using the filtered method for our French press. An espresso, it's very lingering, very pleasant, sweet lingering. It's kind of the immersion, but on steroids. It's like a really lingering aftertaste when it comes to the espresso. Let's do some sweetness check here. So here we have, on drip coffee, we have very light brown spices. Sorry, on drip we have light brown sugar, some sweet spices, but what you can taste is the fructose, is the sugar coming from the fruits. And here we have a mix of tropical fruits and stone fruits. That's why it's not out of balance compared to the acidity, because we don't have citrus fruits here. It's more like stone and tropical fruits rather than citrus fruits. That's why this nice balance of acidity and sweetness. Remember that acidity and sweetness are balancing basic taste. So here we have a super nice balance of those tastes. For the immersion, it's more on the browner side. We still have the aroma of fruits, but you taste more the sweetness coming from a turbinado sugar, for example. And these little sweet spices like cinnamon or nutmeg. On the espresso, yeah, very sweet spices and brown sugar, with a little acidity kick in the middle coming from the fruitiness. While we suggest resting this coffee for a good 5 days for our filter coffee, and at least a week or 10 days for espresso, to slightly mute down the acidity and find back a nice sweetness on the finish. Let's see how this coffee cools down. Right, after approximately 12-15 minutes after the brew time, and about 5-7 minutes after pulling the shot, let's see how this coffee performs when it's colder. Beautiful, very elegant. Of course, a bit softer. It's a bit more on the fruitier side, and still remains some sweetness, but you don't have that intensity that you had when it was hot. On the immersion, see, because the immersion still has some particle inside, it continues to do some mini extraction. And here we feel that heavier texture. So if you're really into like buttery, creamy texture, this is perfect for you. Oh, it's so lingering and so sweet. On the espresso, oh, you got a nice fruitiness that comes back at the end. The main, the brown sugar and sweet spices were sort of showcased in the beginning, and now you start having the shy tropical notes and stone fruit that you find more in a drip coffee being relieved on espresso. So good, so good. Oh, so sweet. Let me finish them. Et voilà! Et voilà! Here's our taste with Memli with Los Pirineos from El Salvador. If you have more information about this coffee, find the link in the description. As usual, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. And see you next time for more coffee brewing.